What I'm about to do now is I am going to explain what the militia is. And I'm going to use the Michigan Militia's own document I'm reading from right there. This is from the Michigan Militia in Defense of Liberty 2. This is on their website. And I'm not sure what the website is. Just type in Michigan Militia. You'll find it, believe me. And go back to me now. And I'm going to explain what the Michigan Militia says the militia is. Because, again, they are the most recognized of all the militias. And since I've met them, I kind of feel like I've intersected with them. They're real to me. I want to read some of this. So here we go. This is a bunch of questions people ask them. So number one, what is the militia? The militia is all able-bodied citizens who are capable of bearing arms, the absolute last line of defense against any threat to the state or country, whether that threat is natural or man-made, foreign or domestic. Our motivation is patriotism and a sincere desire to defend the Constitution. Our goal is to encourage all citizens to achieve a high level of preparedness for a wide variety of possible emergencies. We support a constitutionally limited government and defend the American ideals of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We are open to all citizens regardless of race, sex, religion, or political affiliation. Groups not open to public membership and which are organized for any other purposes are not militias. The militia, as an organization, has no religious theme, is not racial in nature, nor does it advocate terrorism or violence. Now that is what the militia really is, according to the militia. Question number 3, I'm skipping around here. I'm highlighting because it'd take me forever to read all this. Is militia activity legal? Yes, we all have the inalienable rights of self-defense, to keep and bear arms, freedom of speech, and to peaceably assemble. These cover the majority of militia activities. The Constitution of the United States prohibits government at any level from interfering or infringing on these rights. So you think about that. Okay, militia members have the right of self-defense, all right, to keep and bear arms. So do you, right, because you're part of the militia. They have the right of freedom of speech and to peaceably assemble. So what they're saying is, if we want to keep and bear arms while peaceably assembling and say what we want to say, the Constitution protects that. And they're right. It absolutely does. Question number 4. Is the government going to target me if I join the militia? And the answer is, if you're asking this question, there's obviously something enormously wrong. It places emphasis on the fact that people are fearful of government reprisal for engaging in legal activities. You will have to ask the government. If you say the militia is legal, why doesn't the media support you? And the basic answer is, you will have to ask the media. And of course, I know, of course, we've documented why the media wants to destroy the Second Amendment, because they're bought and paid for by the elitists in this country. I don't want to go into that. I've documented it a million times. But the media is bought and paid for. They're all Council on Foreign Relations members, and the Council on Foreign Relations is dedicated to destroying the sovereignty of the United States. They say so. You know, best documentation for it is the Council on Foreign Relations. Go to their website. You'll find out. www.cfr.org. Are you racists? That's the other big thing. Racist militia. No. There are, however, individuals or groups that claim to be militias that say they are of a superior race fighting the, quote, great race war to annihilate the mud people, end quote. These individuals or groups are not militias. They are racists. And that's right. See the way it works? I don't care what color you are. If you're an American citizen and you are capable of defending your home, your state, your country, or helping out in times of an emergency, you are a member of the militia, regardless of your race or creed. It's very important to know that. Another question. Are you militant? And the answer is no. However, there are individuals or groups who claim to be militias that are determined to be engaged in combat and are aggressively active. These individuals or groups are not militias. They are militants. The point here he's making is just because you call yourself a militiaman doesn't mean you are. If you have some weird white supremacy agenda, you're not in a constitutional militia. You're not. You may say you are, but you're not. If you have some bizarre agenda to murder American citizens or whatever, you're not in a constitutional militia. The militia is to protect and defend the Constitution. If you don't believe that everyone has a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, then you cannot be, by definition, in a constitutional militia. You can say it, and the media can say, oh, look, there's a militiaman, but it doesn't make it so. Isn't the militia the National Guard? No, the citizen militia is the unorganized militia. The National Guard is the organized militia. Federal law, 10 U.S.C. section 311A, B1-2, clearly distinguishes between the organized and unorganized militia. It reads in part, the classes of militia are 1. The organized militia, which consists of the National Guard and the Naval Militia, and 2. The unorganized militia, which consists of the members of the militia who are not members of the National Guard or Naval Militia. So that's U.S. law. Yeah, by U.S. law, you are in the militia. Got it? You just don't know it. I'm here to tell you, you're part of it. Now a note regarding the National Guard. The National Defense Act of June 3, 1916 provides in part, quote, that the Army of the United States shall consist of the regular Army, the Volunteer Army, the Officer Reserve Corps, the Enlisted Reserve Corps, the National Guard while in service of the United States, and other such land forces as are now or may hereafter be authorized by law, end quote. We understand from this excerpt that your state's National Guard was federalized back in 1916. That's right. You know National Guardsmen can be ordered to Bosnia. You know it. State National Guardsmen can be ordered around, right, by the federal government. That means they were federalized. That means the organized militia is under the control of the federal government. The Founding Fathers provided for the citizen militia specifically to safeguard against the corrupt, centralized government. Another question, why do we need militias or even armed citizens? Answer, as Americans, it is everyone's responsibility to uphold and defend the Constitution. This is a requirement of a free people. As to the need for armed citizens, you are responsible for defending the life of you and yours. As we've talked about on this show, as you can document all day long for yourself, the police have no obligation to protect you. None. I mean, can you imagine how many times the police have been sued by people for not showing up in time? The fact of the matter is, it's physically impossible for them to show up on time. Therefore, they have no obligation